Hey guys, and welcome to Petrol, and welcome to my CarVid19 daily vlog, uploading a new video every evening at 6 PM to keep you sane during lockdown. Now, over the last few weeks I've done plenty of modifications to my JCW Clubman, Charlie, but there is one feature on Charlie that I have always wanted to have on Ruby Roadster. Question is, what is it? Yes, you don't have to be a genius to work it out by now. It's the rear tail lamps, these Union flag designed rear tail lamps. Now, let's just get a couple of things off the bat first of all. As a very keen, in my younger days anyway, Scout, Venture Scout and Beaver Scout leader, I was always taught that this is the Union flag, not a Union Jack. This is probably for our non-British audience. There is some debate online as to whether or not this is the case, but I always refer to it as a Union flag because it is only a Union Jack when it is flying on a Navy vessel on the jack mast. There is some debate on that one, but I'm going to go with that because that's what I was taught in Scouts. The other thing, just to give you a little bit of, I don't know, trivial pursuit knowledge, is it is very possible to fly a Union flag upside down. So this is the correct way. So the way you know if the mast is there, the thick diagonal line on the top coming down is above the red line. And this is the wrong way, where the narrow line is above the red line. And you should only fly it upside down at times of distress. I think technically it's one of these absurd laws in the UK where I think technically it is still illegal to fly a Union flag upside down. But I don't think anyone's going to be sent to prison for it. Anyway, I digress. We first saw Union flag taillights on the back of a Mini, I believe on the GP concept when that was first launched, and everyone was like, oh, wow. I mean, there was lots of things that were cool about that car, but the tail lamps were like, wow. And they very, very quickly made it onto the hatch, onto the F56 hatch. Quite a common feature now. And then when the Clubman was refreshed last year, they updated the Clubman tail lamps to again incorporate the Union flag. And there's many Union flag things you can do to a Mini. Now, in terms of my R59 here, when I did all of the work with the B-Road Hunting Club on the styling and the de-chroming and the kind of murdering out, the one thing that kind of I left and never really finished were the tail lamps. Now, first things first, you can actually buy a blacked out or smoked version of these tail lights so you don't get that large amount of chrome in the middle. I did consider those, and then at the back end of last year, we started to get coming to market, they're aftermarket parts, but Union flag parts that you can basically pop in and replace. So I've been waiting for them to be type approved and imported and available. Now, what we're going to do on this one is you can get a totally smoked out version or a red version. And I know which ones I want on the car, but I've been chatting to my good friends at SMPS 2012 and I have both sets. And I'm going to basically fit both sets. It's a really easy thing to fit. So we're going to pop these out, fit both sets, so you can kind of have a look and see what you think and whether that might be something that, you know, on your car. I'm guessing the really smoked out ones would probably be for darker cars or where you've de-chromed a lot. So this is a simple process. You have to be quite careful, especially when you're taking this kind of trim ring out around there, but let me go and get my tools and we'll get cracking. This shouldn't take long. Okay, so in terms of tools you'll need, it is quite straightforward. One of the things I would suggest is you need these trim remover tools. So when you order these parts, you can get these trim remover tools as well. They're just basically a kind of soft plastic tool that I'm going to use to pry this trim off around the outside. That just clips on. It's got 4 clips, 2 at the top and 2 at the bottom. So that's the bit that I'm always a bit iffy. They've already come off once when we... So these have got a black vinyl wrap on them if you haven't seen the modification work I did to Ruby Roadster. So they're one of those bits that you kind of try not to take off and put back on again too much. So that's what these trim removal tools are for. And then the light unit itself, so we've basically got 2 types. This is the red one. So you can see there the kind of Union flag emblem. It's held in place with basically 3 screws, 2 at the bottom and 1 at the top. So you need to take the trim off first and then they screw in place. and I'm pretty sure they're the Torx head ones. So you need basically a screwdriver set or socket set that has a Torx set of adapters. Honestly, I'm not sure of the size I need yet, but I've got a full set there, so they should be okay. So they're the red ones, and then the black ones. So that's if you can see that's what we're going for. I think that's the look I want. So what I'm going to do is put both of those on, and then, because there are other videos I'm sure you've seen online of people changing these, or you might have seen these available, but I thought it'd be quite useful. I've not seen one where on the same car you have a black one and a red one, so you can have a look to see what they look like before you make the choice. Okay, so let's get cracking with taking these rings off first. I'll just try and ease behind that. The other thing I'd try not to do is I don't really want to damage the vinyl on there. Oh, here we go. There's that first corner off there. There you go. Off. And then you can kind of see the clips go on just here. You can kind of see them there. I don't know if I can pick that up on camera or not. They're just there. So they clip onto the little clips actually on the light unit itself. And then we can see the three torque head units just there. So that's the next thing. And I think I've managed to do that without shagging up the vinyl, which is always a good thing. Okay, so it's a 20. And then my high quality tool set that I got a load of grief for last time. It's just as simple as unscrewing this all the way out. Obviously, do not lose these screws. Okay, so that's it unscrewed. Now you would now think that it just came out, but there's basically behind there's a fitting that you just need to kind of have a go at. So the best thing to do is to pop the boot open. So pop the boot. You've basically got this access panel here. So if you just get this access panel out, you need to get your hand in here, and it's a real pain in the arse to get to, so I'm going to have a go at that now. Access around in the back here is really tricky, but although it feels like the lamp unit is really firmly in place, if you can just get your hands in and just work it loose, it kind of just comes loose. So it's loose now, and then hopefully I can get my hand under this clip, which is really, really tricky to get at. If you've got big hands, you've got no... Oh, here we go. Done it. Right, so the little thing in question, I don't know if I'll get it close, is this little bit here. This little bit just here. So you just kind of have to push that up, and then the whole unit then comes out quite easily. And then at the back there is just and you've got the same thing here, look. And then at the back there's just a connector. It just pulls out. And that is that. So that's the unit out. So there you go, you can see that little bit there. You need to get behind and just push that down. And the same thing at the bottom, you need to push that down, otherwise these units don't come out very easily. You can maybe see around the outside, you can see these little plastic bits here. These are the bits that clip onto that trim ring, and they're the things that can get broken and damaged quite easily. So that's the old unit out. Let's put the black one in, because let's face it, this is the one I'm looking forward to seeing in the car. So again, from a connector point of view, I'll just drop that wire. The connector only goes in one way, so you can just literally connect it in. There you go, and it's got a little click to say it's there. Now interestingly, these replacement parts don't have that little sticky out bit that is there to keep them in place. So this should just go in and sit inside there like that, and then just be housed with those 3 screws. So let's put those screws on. As I said, I'm going to hold it with a top screw first. Just get a couple of turns on that top one just to, before I put the torque on it. And bottom ones. Oh, it's starting to look really good. Let's hold that in place like that. And then plastic again. Just last screw to hold it in place. These are tricky to get the first thread in once it's in. There we go. Didn't want to go in. I'll put these too tight, but it is a metal trim, so, and then now I want to test these before I put the trim on. The way I'm going to do that is, because I'm on my own, is use the video camera. So I'm just going to do some testing, I think. Side lights, brake lights, right turn signal. So yeah, that all works. Interesting that when the engine was off and I put the headlamps on, they didn't shine, but that's kind of understandable. Now, one thing you might get, and I'm going to look into ways of dealing with this, is because this is a non-mini part, when you start the car, you basically get a headlamp warning appear on the dash, but that does go away. Now, for some of you, that's going to be a real issue or a real challenge. It's not a major thing, it just shines for a few seconds and then goes away. For me, I'm kind of prepared for that, but they look amazing. I love the way that when the indicator's going, it kind of goes along there. It looks really smart. So the last thing I need to do is just place this trim piece back on, and hopefully this should just clip in place. Oh, I hate doing this. Oh, that looks boss. Absolutely mega. Really like that. So let's put the red one on the other side. I'm not going to put the trim piece back on the other side. I just want to be able to put it on the car so you can kind of have a comparison. Because for me, I think if you've got a car that you have de-chromed and you've done these chrome rings and the belt line and the door handles and all those types of things, it might not necessarily be as murdered out as Ruby being all black. I mean, I think she just suits those smoked out lenses really nicely. But if you have de-chromed a car, it might be a coloured car like red or blue or whatever. I still think these look absolutely incredible. But if you want that more kind of natural look and you've still got chrome, I think the red ones are probably more for you. So let's put those on and see what they look like. Just have to be brave, I think, is the way. There you go. Like a contortionist, you need really tiny hands. That's that top one. I think if you get, can I get in underneath the bottom one? This side's much easier to get to. Maybe my right hand's smaller than my left. Done it. Got my hand caught there. It's definitely easier if you get that bottom retention clip off first. And then the unit just pops out, and then you can just pull the connector out. Clip that in place. Now, I'll be honest with you, I was really worried about doing this myself. I've never really changed any major bits of bodywork and stuff, but it's a really easy process. It's just fiddly, and with the trims, the trims that go around the light, you just need to be really careful. Make sure you get the right trim removal tool and I do the bottom clips. They seem to be the ones that come off the easiest. But apart from that, it's a really straightforward process, to be fair. Now, I really like these. They're arguably, I think these red ones are probably a little bit more subtle. I think if you've got just a... Now, the other thing in terms of fitment, this is an R59, but these fit an R56, so that's the hatch, but they also fit the R58, which is the coupe, and the R59, which is the Roadster. And I'm not sure, I'd have to check off the top of my head whether they fit the Cabriolet as well. I would imagine they probably do fit the R Cabriolet. In the comments below, what's the designated number for the R Cabriolet? Is it 50? I can't remember off the top of my head. So yeah, so certainly hatch, coupe, Roadster, those fit, and I think they look really, really cool. And that's it, it's simple. I mean, I probably don't even to speed that up. It's literally a 5-minute job. Let me just again check that by starting the car and so on, and then I'll just close the boot so you can kind of see the finished look. I wonder if this ring can just, if I can just half clip it in place. I don't really, oh, that'll do. Nice. I think these look great. Now, it's such a sunny day here today. I think the best way for me to show you what these lights are like is I'm going to just pull the car into the garage, because it's just a little bit more sheltered in there from the sunshine and you might get a better view. Now, I never normally complain about beautiful sunny days for filming, but when the sunlight is as harsh as it is today, it is quite tricky, especially when you're filming lights. So I'll stay underneath the barn for now. So let me just talk through the two different lights. One of the things, so we're not going to do a discount code with SMPS 2012 on these particular products, because they're already at a very, very good price. And actually, as far as we're aware, Sam's the only one to have this. So these are made in Taiwan. All the other versions you'll see out there typically are Chinese and not quite as nice as these ones, not as good quality. So the smoke ones, I thought they would be nailed on, definitely the ones I'd go for. And they do look really cool. And when I put them on, I'm like, yeah, that's it. And then I put the red ones on, and I think the red ones look nice too. Lit, when they're not lit on the car, I just think those smoke ones, for certain types of cars, if you've done lots of dechroming, if you've got that murdered out look, I think they'll look absolutely magnificent. And when they work, the lights, I love the way the indicators kind of go across. But the red ones are far more subtle, and I'm actually quite surprised at how nice or how much I like them on the car, because they do work with the red accents on Ruby Roadster. I am going to go with the black ones though. But they are really, really nice. Now, the error code, just to kind of flag that up, it will depend on the model year, I think, because talking to Sam, he's had some people that haven't had that error code and some people that have. My only challenge with it might be that come MOT time, it might be that you have to quickly change the lights back and put the old lights back on again. It's not that the lights aren't working, but I'm pretty sure some MOT testers, if there's a warning light on the dash, as I know from my tyre pressure warning light system that failed, that may well be an MOT failure. But it's not a big thing. They are super easy to kind of swap over. But they do look really cool. Really cool. I'd love to know what you think. So anyway, there you go, guys. Finally, Ruby Roadster has Union flag, not Union Jack, Union flag tail lamps. And it was dead easy. Even I could do it. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that one. If you have done so, please give me a thumbs up. Comments below are always welcome. And if you haven't done so already, please subscribe to Petrol Ped for plenty more content to come. I'd love to know what you think. Black or red? It's so easy. Remember, R56 hatch, R58 coupe, R59 Roadster, and I'm pretty sure they probably go on a convertible as well, on an R series convertible. But yeah, I'll see you on the next film, guys. You take care. Stay safe.